Hi everybody, it's Eric and time for our video conversation. First, I want to wish everyone a wonderful Easter and Passover weekend. If you travel, make sure you travel safety. Also, I want to recognize the success we've had helping our Liberian community here in Minnesota. As you know, there was a deadline that was now extended and a lot of uncertainty for a lot in the Liberian community. One of the largest populations in the United States is right here in Minnesota, and I've been a very forceful voice in getting that extension, making sure these healthcare providers, entrepreneurs, and families are going to be able to remain here, stay here, and we can work on another long-term solution. And finally, thanks to everyone who took the time to come in for my open office hours. A wide variety of views on a number of different issues, but I always find these interactions with everyone, whether they agree with me or not, to be very helpful in more effectively representing all of you. Now let's get to our questions. And the first comes from Christian, who's a 14-year-old in Bloomington. He emails, "Dear Mr. Paulsen, I would like to talk to you about the school shooting that happened in Florida. It's a terrible thing and I would not like to see it again. I want to feel safe in my school as do my classmates and kids across the United States. I believe schools should upgrade security in every way possible, and I believe we should have stricter policies and licenses to pose as a firearm, including stricter background checks. Thank you for your time, Christian." Christian, I can just tell you, as the father of 4 daughters myself, no child should be going to school, or no parent should send their child to school with the worry of safety. Some good news happened along the lines of preventing gun violence. Number one, last week, we have now formally lifted the ban on federal research on gun violence. That's a good thing to collect more facts, have effective policies for the next initiatives. And that's been bottled up for a long period of time, and we passed that. Number two, we provided good resources, gun violence resources now with grants to school districts around the country that can use those dollars as they see fit to make sure their schools are safe and secure. Three, we have enhanced background checks, including domestic violence records, and ensuring that all of the information that goes into the National Criminal Background Check system is safe and solid, because the system is only as good as the data that's in it. There's more we can do. We should be banning bump stocks, devices that make weapons automatic firing weapons. That's wrong. Those should be illegal. We should also, I think, enact gun violence restriction orders. So if someone has a concern about a member, a friend or a family member that is going to be maybe a harm to themselves or to others, law enforcement can step in and remove those any weapons that that individual may have. So a lot is still left to do. I'll keep working on those too to make schools safer and address gun violence. Next is a letter that comes in from Jasmine in Eden Prairie, and Jasmine says, "Dear Representative Paulsen, on March 21st, hundreds of lupus advocates visited Capitol Hill as part of the Lupus Foundation of America's National Advocacy Summit. But there are millions more of us whose lives have been forever changed by lupus, including me. As your constituent and someone affected by this horrible disease, I urge you to support vital lupus programs at the CDC and other federal agencies as Congress considers funding levels. On behalf of myself and the rest of your constituents whose lives have been impacted by lupus, please support these priorities during your upcoming appropriations process. I hope I can count on you to support the lupus community as we continue to fight this horrific disease. Sincerely, Jasmine." Jasmine, I'm actually very sorry to hear that you have personally been afflicted by lupus. I know that these stakeholder meetings when folks visit Capitol Hill are very influential and very helpful, especially for the 1.5 million people who have lupus, the majority of whom are actually women. Good news in the congressional budget that just passed, we have now added more resources, $3 billion more for the National Institutes of Health. That helps rare diseases and lupus research all across the board. Cancer, record numbers of increased dollars going there. We also put significant dollars into Alzheimer's research, $414 million increase in Alzheimer's. That's a really good thing. And then finally, $400 million more for the BRAIN Initiative, or it's a $140 million increase with $400 million for the BRAIN Initiative. And this will make sure we're revolutionizing opportunities to fight Parkinson's and other neurological diseases. The bottom line is, this type of government research is very important for solving critical healthcare needs in the future. Thanks for joining in. Continue to reach out, and again, have a safe and healthy weekend. You can get me on the website, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or of course at paulsen.house.gov.